This is the Family Channel. Here's your host, Tony Slattery.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Trivial Pursuit. Here's a bit of mind-blowing trivia. Did you know that the relationship between the size of a virus to that of the size of the human being is the same relationship as the size of a human being is to the size of the Earth? And with that cosmic bit of trivia, let's straight away meet today's three contestants who are competing for the chance of a great holiday. Firstly, we say hello to Richard. Hello, Richard. How are you?
I'm fine.
It says here you're a sales manager. What does that entail?
Oh, basically, I work for a bakery magazine.
Oh, what's it called?
British Baker.
British Baker. Yes, they could have come up with a more imaginative title.
Yeah, we've gone into Europe now with European Baker.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Very good.
5 committee meetings for that one.
Oh, well, it was. It says that you once had an encounter with Placido Domingo. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, I had to show for him.
You had to show for him. Why?
Well, he had to get there. Oh, it was,
That's fair enough.
somebody had to take it. No, I was in Newcastle upon Tyne, and we decided to bring opera to Newcastle.
Yes.
And I had to show for him, and I kidnapped him.
You kidnapped him?
Yeah. Oh, well, I didn't actually, but his manager thought he had and tried to jump out the car halfway through the journey.
Why? Because you lost your way?
No, I took a detour to get around the traffic jam.
In other words, you lost your way.
Yeah.
So, would you say you're a better baker than you are a chauffeur?
I'm pretty dreadful at both, actually.
Oh, well, bless you. Well, I hope you're not dreadful at Trivial Pursuit. It's very nice to have you, Richard. Welcome to you. Next, we say hello to Zeldy.
Hi.
What a lovely name. What's the etymology of that?
It's short for Griselda or Isolde, whichever you like.
Oh, that's wonderful.
It's a totally silly name spelt in a really stupid way.
No, you're doing yourself down, Zeldy. So did you choose it, or was it your parents'
Yes,
choice?
no, I chose it.
Oh, that's excellent. It says here you breed reptiles. That's interesting. Now, a lot of people find reptiles a bit creepy, but apparently because they're cold-blooded, aren't they? They like the warmth of the human hand.
You'd love this. They're poikilothermic, which actually
Are they?
means...
Bless
yes,
you.
there you are. They take on the temperature of their surroundings, so if you keep a snake warm, it feels warm. If you put it in the fridge, it gets cold. And probably dies as well.
You don't put them in a fridge, do you?
No.
No, I'm sure you like them too much. Welcome to you, Zeldy. And finally, we say hello to Paul. Hello, Paul.
Hello, Tony.
A financial consultant.
For the time being,
For the time being? Oh, why? Is redundancy threatened?
I'm joining the Metropolitan Police.
Oh, excellent. Well done to you, sir. What made you decide to make that leap of career?
The insurance game is very high pressure.
So, you're saying policing isn't? Goodness.
No, not compared to insurance these days.
I see. So when are you making the switch?
I go to Hendon on September the 12th.
Well, best of luck to you, Paul, and best of luck to all of you in this game. Ladies and gentlemen, the contestants. Okay, let's get straight on with the game. The aim of the game is simple: to be the first person to illuminate all 12 sections of your individual pie. You do this by answering questions on trivia correctly in various categories. Answer correctly, a section is illuminated. Answer incorrectly or pass, and I'll throw it open to the other two so they can buzz in after the timeout bell has gone. Good luck to you all. Let's start with the first round, in which the categories are the classic Trivial Pursuit categories of geography, entertainment, history, art and literature, science and nature, and sport and leisure. Richard, you're first. Please choose.
Science and nature.
Science and nature for Richard. For Green Richard, what kind of animal was Laika, the first mammal in space?
A dog.
I'll be generous. You were slightly after the bell, but it's the first round, so I'm going to give you that a dog. Well done. You haven't got much time to think in this game, have you now, Richard? That's become clear. Zeldy, please choose.
I'll try art and literature.
Art and literature, Zeldy. Sure, for Red. Which writer's last play, The Boy David, was staged in 1936, his earlier work including Mary Rose and Peter Pan?
J.M. Barrie.
J.M. Barrie. That's right. Well done. You've got a red section. Well done. Paul, over to you.
I love sport and leisure.
Sport and leisure for Orange, Paul. Which German automobile's name literally translates as people's car?
Volkswagen.
Volkswagen is correct, that's right. Richard, we go back to you.
Art and literature, please.
Art and literature's gone. You've got geography, entertainment, or history to choose from.
Geography, please.
Geography for blue. Here we go. On which river are there holy shrines at Varanasi and Allahabad?
No.
River. Paul.
Ganges.
The Ganges is correct. You pick up a blue section. Well done. Zeldy, on to you.
Entertainment, please.
Entertainment for pink, Zeldy. Which veteran pop star was born Harry Roger Webb in Lucknow on October the 14th, 1940?
Cliff Richard.
Cliff Richard, of course it is. Yes, that's right. And Paul, finally, let's see. You are left with history for yellow. In the 14th century, John of Gaunt was Duke of where?
York.
No, time out. Zeldy.
Lancaster.
Lancaster is correct. You picked up a yellow. Right. Let's reset the board to redress the balance of advantage in the order of play. Richard, you're third, but only just, so we're going to start with you again. Choose any category you like.
Science and nature, please.
Science and nature, Richard. Which extract from the leaves of the foxglove plant has been used to treat heart failure since the 16th century?
Aspirin?
Not aspirin. Good guess. Zeldy.
Digitalis.
Digitalis is correct. That's right. Okay. Zeldy, we go on to you. Please choose.
Can I have science and...
You can have anything you like.
History. No, I've got that.
Well,
Geography.
you've only got one of them. You remember you have to get two,
yes.
so...
Geography.
Geography. Okay. For blue, which South American country has a capital in Quito?
Chile.
No. Richard.
Uruguay.
It's not Uruguay. Paul.
Bolivia.
No, it's Ecuador, in fact, Paul. Right, let's go on to you. Paul, please choose.
History.
History. History for yellow. What German religious leader started the Protestant Reformation when he posted his 95 Theses to the door of a church in 1517?
Luther.
Martin Luther, that's right, yes, for a yellow section. Let's see what the scores are at the end of that first round. In third place with one section illuminated is Richard. In second with 3 is Paul, but leading with 4 sections illuminated at this stage is Zeldy. Well done. Right, let us go on to our film and television round next, in which the categories are personalities, titles, classics, portrayals, drama, and wild cards. Some of these categories have hidden bonus aspects, which I'll explain as and when they crop up. Richard, you're in third position, so we'll start with you. Please choose.
Portrayals, please.
Portrayals for red. Which American sitcom character was based on Alf Garnett?
Archie Bunker.
Archie Bunker, well remembered, just in time for a red section. Zeldy will go to you next.
Personalities, please.
Personalities for blue, Zeldy. Please take a look at this.
And here, the collection of Pierre Cardin, that master in the world of haute couture. He has been well described as an original designer, happy to remain outside the orbit of Balenciaga.
Right, rare footage of the village people there at a party. No, that was 1963, Pierre Cardin presenting some of his new bejeweled designs. The question is this, Zeldy. In 1960, Cardin was the first to show a collection for men. In 1968, which American launched his menswear under a polo label? Time out. Anyone else? Richard?
Ralph Lauren.
Ralph Lauren, that's right, so you get a blue. Now we move on to Paul.
Titles.
Titles. Okay, that's a bonus question. That means it's in 2 parts. Get the first part correct, Paul. You get that pink section. Get the second part correct, and you get a chance to take a section away from either Zeldy or Richard. Here we go. Take a look at this picture. Right, that's Bruce Willis there, and a still from Die Hard. The question, in which popular TV series did Bruce Willis shoot to stardom as Private Eye David Addison?
Moonlighting.
Moonlighting is correct. You get your pink section, and here's the second part of the question. Who is Bruce Willis married to?
Demi Moore.
Demi Moore is correct. Now, which section do you want to take away, and from whom?
I'll take Zeldy's history.
Zeldy's yellow section disappears. Bye-bye. Okay, Richard, we go back to you. 3 to choose from.
Classics, please, Tom.
Classics. Well done. Same rules apply. It's a bonus question in 2 parts. So, please, take a look at this.
Now observe closely, and you will discover several half-burnt cinders, obviously salvaged from the previous fire.
Yes, you're perfectly right.
Let go, my dear Watson. The case is finished.
It was very camp Sherlock Holmes, wasn't it? Dear me, that was a surprise. Anyway, here's the question. Which villain was the arch enemy of Sherlock Holmes?
Moriarty.
Moriarty is correct. You get a yellow section. The second part. In which London street did Holmes purportedly live?
Baker Street.
Baker Street, of course it was. And please, whose section do you want to take away and which colour?
Paul's yellow, please.
Paul's yellow disappears. So, Richard gets his own back there. Zeldy, please.
Titles, please.
Titles. Titles is gone. You can have drama or wild card.
Oh, so it has. Wild card, please.
Wild card for orange. Here we go. Right, your question, please take a look at this.
The Queen Mother and her family emerged from the gates to receive the best wishes of the crowd and many more tokens of affection from the children.
That was 1980, Zeldy, the Queen Mum's 80th birthday. The question is, what's the name of the Queen Mother's official residence? Time out. Anyone else? Paul?
Clarence House.
Clarence House is correct. You get an orange section. Over to you, Paul. Who knows? Soon you may well be guarding Clarence House. We'll see. You are left with drama, which is green. Here's your question. Which Antonia Fraser detective was played on television by Patricia Hodge? Time out. Anyone else? No, the answer is Jemima Shaw. In fact, that's who it was. So, let's see what the scores are at the end of that round. We see in third position, with 3 sections illuminated, is Zeldy, but leading. In first position, both with 4 sections each, are Richard and Paul. Well done. Okay, let's now go on to our trivia tactics round, in which you have to nominate for one of your opponents the category in which you think that opponent might have slightly more difficulty in answering based on what you've heard previously, or just based on a hunch, or based on nothing at all. Capricious whim, up to you. Zeldy, we're going to start with you. These are the categories, though. World of places, world of music, world of people, world of fantasy, world of science, and world of leisure. Zeldy, please nominate for Paul. Anything
World
except orange.
Leisure, please.
No, that's
Oh,
orange,
the orange,
in
sorry.
fact. So,
Yes, world of fantasy.
World of fantasy for red. Here we go, Paul. What mythological figure fell in love with his own reflection in a pool?
Narcissus.
Narcissus is correct, just in time. Okay, Paul, nominate for Richard.
World of Leisure.
World of leisure for orange, Richard. In which sport might you do an Eskimo roll through a gate? Timeouts. Anyone else? Paul.
Canoeing.
Canoeing is correct, but you've already got your orange section, but at least you blocked Zeldy there. Now, Richard, please nominate for Zeldy.
World of people.
World of people for yellow, Zeldy. Which English city got its name because the tribe of the people of Snot once lived there?
Shropshire?
Not Shropshire, no. Richard.
Nottingham.
It is Nottingham, that's right, yes. You get a yellow slice. Let's go round again. Zeldy, please nominate for Paul.
World of music.
World of music for your pink slice, Paul. Many top guitarists began with his play in a day guitar booklet. Name the musician.
Hank Wangford.
No, not Hank Wangford. Richard.
Bert Whedon.
Bert Whedon is correct. You pick up a pink section. Paul, please nominate for Richard.
World of Places.
World of places to complete your blue slice, Richard. Malmaison, a chateau near Paris, was a favourite residence of which empress who died there in 1814?
No.
Time out. Zeldy.
Josephine?
Josephine is correct. You pick up a blue section. And now finally, Richard, please nominate for Zeldy.
World of science.
World of science to complete your green slice, Zeldy. In which organ of the body is insulin produced?
The pancreas.
The pancreas is correct. It's correct. You've got a green slice. Let's see what the scores are. We see that at this halfway stage, Richard is in the lead, but anything could happen. Let's see how the game develops after we take this short break. Bye-bye. Hello, welcome back. Let's take a quick recap of the scores. We see in joint third position, both with 7 sections remaining to illuminate, are Zeldy and Paul. But leading with just 6 sections to go is Richard. Well done, Richard. So, scores are very close and anything can happen in this second half. Let's now complete our trivia tactics round. Zeldy, we'll go back to you. Please, nominate for Paul.
World of music.
World of music to complete that pink slice, Paul. In 1931, who composed a nursery suite for orchestra dedicated to Princess Elizabeth and Princess Margaret, following his Pomp and Circumstance March?
Elgar.
Elgar is correct. Absolutely right. Okay, Paul, please nominate for Richard.
World of Fantasy.
World of Fantasy. To complete that red slice, Richard. Which film of a French fairy tale became in 1992 the first fully animated feature film ever to be nominated for the Best Picture Oscar? Time out. Anyone else? Zeldy.
Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast is correct, so you picked up a red section. And finally, Richard, please nominate for Zeldy.
World of Music, please.
World of Music for Pink Zeldy. He sang the title track to the film Ruthless People and played an Antipodean outlaw. Who is he?
Paul Hogan.
It's not. No, good guess. Richard.
Mick Jagger.
Mick Jagger is right. Yes, you picked up your pink section, your pink slice rather, because that was, of course, Ned Kelly. Let's see how the scores have developed. It's still in joint third place, both with 6 sections to illuminate is Zeldy and Paul, but just ahead with just 5 sections to illuminate is Richard. Well done. Good, but the scores can change because now we have our control round. I'm going to start by asking you to put fingers on the buzzers. Speed is of the essence in this round. I'll start by asking you a control question. If you buzz in and answer correctly, that means you get control of the round and a chance to choose whatever categories you need in sequence until your run of luck or answering correctly is broken. Okay, here we go. The categories are geography, entertainment, history, art and literature, science and nature, and sport and leisure. Here we go. Fingers on buzzers. What word describes the announcements at church services of a couple's intended Richard?
Bands.
The bands. Please choose a category.
Sport and leisure, please.
Sport and leisure for Orange. Which sporting world championship did Irina Rodnina and Alexei Ulanov win for the first time in 1969?
The World Ice Skating Champions.
That's right, the world pairs. Another category, please.
I'll go for sport and leisure again.
Sport and leisure again for that orange slice. Which Premier League football team plays at home at Boundary Park?
Oldham.
Is correct. Another category.
Science and nature, please.
Science and nature for green. Name the Scottish mathematician who originated the concept of logarithms as a mathematical device to aid in calculation.
No idea.
Time out. No, the answer is Napier. Here we go. Control question. Fingers on buzzers. On which island is Parkhurst Prison? Paul.
Isle of Wight.
Isle of Wight is correct. Choose a category.
Geography.
Geography for blue. Which British resort has 3 piers, north, central and south?
Blackpool.
Is correct. Another category, please.
Art and literature.
Art and literature for that red slice. What did John Gay call his 1728 musical play about a highwayman named MacHeath? Time out. Richard.
Beggar's Opera.
Is correct. Choose a category.
Art and literature, please.
For that red. The artist J.M.W. Turner lived from 1775 to 1851. What did the initials J.M.W. stand for?
No idea.
Time out. Press in if you know. Zeldy.
John Michael William.
No, I can't give you that. Nearly. It's Joseph Mallard William. Okay, control question. Fingers on buzzers. Which comedian is associated with the catchphrase Katanga? Richard.
Lenny Henry.
Is correct. Choose a category, please.
Art and literature, please.
Again for that red slice. Which poet laureate published in 1935 the children's book The Box of Delights, or When the Wolves Were Running? Time out. No, the answer is John Masefield. Here we go, another control question. In 1964, the classic Beatles song that went to #1 was titled Can't Buy Me What? Paul.
Love.
Is correct. Choose a category.
Art and literature.
Art and literature. Which author wrote the 1933 novel Lost Horizon about the ideal state of Shangri-La? Time out. James Hilton is the answer. Control question. In the Houses of Parliament, who occupies the wool... Zeldy, are you...
Oh, sorry, no.
Are you just pressing...
I think I'm leaning on it by
Oh,
mistake.
darling. Oh, darling. That's very exciting. No fingers on buzzers, but don't press too hard. Another control question. Fingers on buzzers, but not your full weight. Here we go. In the Houses of Parliament, who occupies the woolsack? Richard.
Lord Chancellor.
Lord High Chancellor, you have control. Please choose a category.
Science and nature, please.
Science and nature for green. What has types called altostratus, cirrocumulus, and cumulonimbus, Richard?
Clouds.
Clouds, of course. Another category. You've got 2 to go.
Art and literature, please.
Art and literature to complete that red slice. Benjamin Britten's opera, The Turn of the Screw, is based on a story by which American novelist?
Edgar Allan Poe.
No. Time out. Anyone else? Henry James is the answer. Another control question. I'd do anything was a number from which 60s... Richard.
Oliver.
Is correct. Choose a category.
Art and literature.
Art and literature again for that red. Cleghorn was the middle name of which Victorian woman novelist?
No idea.
No. The answer is Mrs. Elizabeth Gaskell. Here we go, another control question. Right, before I ask the control question, that noise, it's the 60-second warning. If no one has completed all sections of their pie at the end of that 60 seconds, it's the person with the most sections illuminated who goes on to play for that holiday. The 60 seconds start now. In which county is Stonehenge? Zelda.
Wiltshire.
Is correct. Choose a category, please.
Art and literature.
Art and literature, you've got that, that's red.
I can't see the colours. History.
History, there we go. Yellow. Which king was the father of Plantagenet King Henry III?
Henry II.
No. Anyone else? King John is the answer. Control question, fingers on buzzers. Which group had hits in the 60s with the Do Ron Ron and Then He Kissed Me? Richard?
The Ronettes.
No. Paul?
Chiffons.
No.
The Ron Elf.
No, not Ron Elf, no. The crystals is the answer. Here we go, control question. In geometry, what term describes an angle of less than 90 degrees? Richard?
Acute.
Correct. Choose a category.
Art and literature, please.
For which novel did Salman Rushdie win the Booker Prize in 1981 about the founding of the modern state of India?
No idea.
No, time out. The answer is Midnight's Children. Here we go. Godfrey Davis, Eurodollar, Alamo, and Avis are all firms. Richard?
Car hire firm.
Yes, correct. Choose a category.
Art and literature.
Art and literature. Who wrote the 19... And that's time out. Time out. Well played. Well played. We see, let's have a look at the scores. We see that in third position, it's quite close, with only 6 sections left to illuminate, was Zeldy. In second place with 5 was Paul. But the person who goes on to play for that holiday with 2 sections to illuminate is Richard. Well done, Richard. Good. Commiserations to Zeldy and Paul. Richard was on very good form. You don't go away empty-handed. You get the Family Channel T-shirt and the family edition of the fabulous Trivial Pursuit board game. You've been great contestants, ladies and gentlemen, Zeldy and Paul. Well done. And Richard, would you now please join me at the centre of the board to play the ultimate trivia challenge? Well done, Richard. You've already got the T-shirt and the board game. We're also going to give you a Pathé Newsreel video commemorating the year of your birth. But this is the holiday you're playing for.
Courtesy of Bel Air, you could be flying to the fascinating island of Malta. Situated in the very centre of the Mediterranean, you can expect a warm welcome to match the climate and the excellent beaches on which to relax. On Malta, there's no end of historical temples and monuments to visit, and hundreds of beautifully decorated churches. So good luck, Richard, to you on your quest for your fabulous Trivial Pursuit holiday!
Well, Malta is a fascinating island. I hope you'll be going there. What you've got to do in order to get there is you've got to fill your individual pie by answering 6 questions correctly. If you pass or answer incorrectly, we'll simply go on to the next categories. So, best of luck to you, and your 60 seconds start now. Which Paula is a former Commonwealth champion at 3,000 metres?
No idea.
Fudge. Which Hungarian composed the operas Gypsy Love and The Merry Widow?
No.
Franz Lehar. Which former cabinet minister in 1993 edited the Faber Book of Conservatism?
Ben.
No, Kenneth Baker. They were known to young viewers as the Crankies. In reality, they were Ian and Janet who?
No idea.
Tough. Tough is the answer. What is the currency unit of Netherlands?
Gilda.
Correct. Director Stanley Kubrick in 1968 turned Arthur C. Clarke's story The Sentinel into which film?
2001: A Space
Correct.
Odyssey.
Which royal duke was killed in a bomber crash in 42?
Marlborough.
No, Kent. Who wrote She Stoops to Conquer or The Mistakes of a Night?
Goldsmith.
Correct. How many sides does a snowflake have?
8.
No, 6. Which popular American lawn tennis player was known as Little Mo?
No idea.
Maureen Connolly. Which area gives its name to the poppy worn on Remembrance Sunday?
No idea.
Flanders. Meaning unity in Hebrew, what is the name of the coalition of right-wing parties which gained power in Israel?
No.
Likud. Which Scott Fitzgerald novel tells the story of an alienated self-made millionaire?
Sorry.
Oh, not at all. 3 out of 6. Not bad. Not bad. Commiserations to you, Richard. 3 out of 6 isn't bad. Quite tough questions. Thanks to you. Thanks to all our contestants. Thanks to you, the studio audience, and especially thanks to you at home. And please join us again soon for another exciting game of Trivial Pursuit. Bye-bye.